pairs. In the forex market, the main financial instrument that we trade are currency pairs. Every currency pair is a set of two currencies that are being quoted against each other. Within the set of two currencies, the first we call the base currency and the second the quote currency. For example, British pound US dollar. In this example, the British pound is the base currency and the US dollar is the quote currency. Here is a table that shows the most popular world currencies that you should know. For the United States, we are going to use dollars. For the Australia, we are going to again have dollars. For Canada, dollar. Also for the New Zealand, we are going to have dollar. After, for the Great Britain, we have the pound. From Switzerland, we are going to have franc. For Japan, we are going to use yen, and for the Eurozone members, we are going to use euro. The most traded forex pair are called majors. So euro against the United States dollar, US dollar against Japan, so against the yen, United Kingdom against the US dollar, so pound dollar, United States against Switzerland, dollar Swiss, United States Canada, dollar Canadian dollar, Australia United States, Australian dollar against US dollar, New Zealand against United States, again, New Zealand dollar against US dollar. Forex pair in the Euro crisis group. This group represents the most commonly traded pair against the euro. For example, euro versus franc, euro versus pound, euro versus CAD, euro versus Aussie, euro versus Kiwi. Forex pairs in the yen crisis. So all major pairs against the yen. Over here we have the euro versus yen, pound versus yen, franc versus yen, Canadian dollar versus yen, Australian dollar versus yen, New Zealand dollar versus yen. Forex pair in the pound crisis group. Over here we have the pound versus franc, pound versus Australian dollar, pound versus Canadian dollar, pound versus New Zealand dollar. After that we have the pairs in other crisis group, like Australian dollar versus franc, Australian dollar versus Canadian dollar, Australian dollar versus New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar versus franc, New Zealand dollar versus franc, New Zealand dollar versus Canadian dollar. At the end, we have the final group called exotics. Over here, we have the currencies from emerging markets, like United States dollar versus Hong Kong dollar, United States dollar versus Singapore dollar, United States dollar versus Mexico peso, and so on.